Okay, page 191, number 11 is where we at. Let's do number 11. It says 4 times x to the negative third, y to the 0. Mira, Lucia. Okay, so you got two things. You got negative exponent and you got zero exponent. You could deal with both of them. Okay? You know for the negative exponent you're going to need a fraction, right? So we can move the negative exponent down and it becomes positive. Y to the 0, so we dealt with that. Y to the 0 is going to become what? 1. So you're going to have a 1 up here. And you already have a 4 left up here. So you got 4 times 1, which is?
5.
No.
4.
Now, whoever said 5, I know what you did.
Oh.
You're adding still. But remember, you only add the exponents, okay? So don't get confused. Big numbers are still regular. If it's multiplication, you multiply. It's division, you divide. The only thing that changes is the exponents. For exponents, when you have a multiplication problem, you add the exponents. When you have a division problem, you subtract. So the only thing I did was I moved x to the negative third. I moved it down, so it became positive. And then what was left? 4 and y to the 0. And y to the 0 is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4, and that's it. Questions? All right, let's do number 12. (8m to the negative 2 over 4m to the negative 1). All right, so let's do, it really doesn't matter what we do first. It's a fraction. We got whole numbers here. What's 8 divided by 4?
Yeah.
Positive 2. Don't subtract them. Don't get confused. They're not exponents. They're regular big whole integers. 8 divided by 4 is positive 2. Do you think that 2 should go on the top or the bottom?
No.
Why?
So it can become positive.
Why do you say the top? It should go on the top because it's just a regular number. It's not an exponent.
You said the exponent.
It's not an exponent. 8 divided by 4 is just 2. Regular old 2. Okay, so you put the 2 on the top. M to the negative 2, we want to move that to the bottom so that it could be positive. N to the negative 1, we're going to move that so it can be positive. You don't really have to write the 1. We don't write the 1s. And that's it. Once you have all positive exponents and there's nothing to be simplified, that's it. It might look funny, but it's done.
But can you still write the 1?
If you want, you can write the 1. You're not going to see that as a multiple choice answer, though. They're not going to write the 1. I'll be surprised if they write the 1. So just know that if you don't see the 1, it's the same thing. Okay, look at number 13. I was deciding whether or not I wanted to go there with you, but let's go there. Let's go there. Number 13. Negative 6a to the negative second power times bc in parentheses to the second power over d to the negative fourth. That seems really complicated, but it's not. First thing you do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, what's the first thing? Parentheses. So what happens with these parentheses? Everything inside the parentheses gets
Exponent.
an exponent. Good. So you got b to the second power, and you got c to the second power. That's the first thing we did. Now, do you see any powers that have the same base? Anything that has the same base?
No.
No. Good. So we can't fix that. So the next thing we could fix is all these negative exponents. Don't get confused. Is negative 6 a negative exponent? No, that's just a regular number.
What's next to it? Negative 6?
A to the negative second.
Oh, 8
Okay, so does this A have a negative exponent?
Yes.
Yes, so let's move it so we can make it positive. Does B have a negative exponent? No, so leave it alone. Does C have a negative exponent? No, so leave it alone. Does D have a negative exponent?
Yes.
Yes, so move it. It's on the bottom, so where do we move it? Move it to the top. That's positive. And believe it or not, that's the answer.
Wow.
That's it. Once everything is positive, you can't do anything with this -6. It's just -6. That's it.
Why is 8 the only?
Because A was negative, so we had to move it down. The exponent was negative, right?
Yeah.
So we had to move it down to make it positive, and that was the only thing left when we were finished. Make sense? All right, let's do number 14. Do it right here. You got 5s over 6t in parentheses, all to the -2. So again, you got parentheses, so what happens?
You put a -2 on every single.
Every single thing gets a -2. So you got 5 to the -2, s to the -2, over 6 to the -2, t to the -2. Everything inside the parentheses has to get an exponent. Now what should we do?
You put them like bottom, top, so they can become.
Good. Make them positive. So 5 has a negative exponent, so let's move it to the bottom. S has a negative exponent, so let's move it to the bottom. 6 has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move it to the top. T has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move it to the top. Am I done?
No.
Is there anything else I could do?
Yeah.
What?
You can multiply 6 by 6.
Yes. What's 6 to the second power?
36.
6 times 6? 36. And what else?
And 5 by 5, 25.
5 to the second power is 5 times 5, just 25. And you're done. I'm gonna do how many more? I'll do one more. Number 17. Let's look at number 17. Okay, so number 17. It says 10 f g to the -5 h to 0 h to the -2 over h to the -2. All right, so first things first. To me, the easy thing to do is get rid of the h to the 0, because you know h to the 0 is going to be what? 1. It's going to be 1, so you can just cross that out. It's not going to do anything. All right, now let's move the negatives. You got 10, that's okay. F is okay. G has a negative exponent, so where am I going to move it? To the bottom. H has a negative exponent, so where do I move it?
To the bottom.
It's already on the bottom.
To the top.
To the top. And guess what?
That's it.
That's it.
Are you serious?
Nothing else you could do. All the exponents are positive, all the numbers are simplified, there's nothing else you could do. Any questions? Okay, you can stop it.